Did you know you could be hurting your horse every time you went over a jump? Do this now so you don't get left behind and stop hurting your horse in the mouth and on the back. My goal for you is by the time you finish this video, you will have an easy fix so you don't get left behind at your jumps. Hi there, my name is Laura Kellen May and welcome to Equestrian Skill Builders. I show you how to improve your riding so you can ride safely, comfortably, with confidence, and win more ribbons at your next horse show. Today I'm going to do a position review from a video that someone sent in to me. So let's get started. Generally speaking, this is a great video. It shows the rider at a horse show. I'm just going to let that play through and then we can talk about it. There's lots of things that I really like about this video. I really like the way that this rider's looking up and looking forward, looking around and making the corrections that she needs to make. But there are some basic things that this rider needs to focus on to improve her riding. Here's one of the things that I really like. I really like the way this rider is looking up and looking forward and the way they have their heels here. The other thing that I really like is the soft contact that she has with this horse. And although looks like it's a Pelham bit with only one rein, I don't see that there's a connector here. We'd like to see this rider put her heels down a little bit more. Of course, every teacher says, put your heels down. But this rider has a good, secure lower leg, but we just like to put her heels down a bit more. And we're going to help her out by really identifying and focusing on what she can do to get her heels down. Generally speaking, a good rule of thumb when you're riding in your two-pointer jumping position is to have a straight line, shoulder, knee, toe. And let's take a look at this rider's position because it's a little bit off. This is the angle, shoulder, hip, knee. This is her hip angle right in here. I've drawn a straight line, shoulder, knee, toe here, and we'd like to have her knee down a little bit more so it's more in line with this line. And to do that, she's got to open up her hip angle a little bit more and have her knee pressed down. And if she presses her knee down, that's going to help drive the weight down into her heels as well. If you'd like to have your own position review done, send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com. I'd love to help you out. And if you'd like to have more information on exercises, send me an email. I'd like to really nail into the heart of this ride and focus on the major mistake that 90% of riders do, and I want to hit home with it. We've gone over some of the good things this rider does. Let's go and focus on something that this rider has to improve immediately so that she doesn't hurt her horse and doesn't hurt herself. On the approach to the jump, doesn't look so bad. You can see here there's lots of things that we like. We like this nice release with her hands in the correct position. Horse is looking like it's really happy. Its ears are up, looking and going forward. However, you can see some of the things here that we don't like to see is heels are up. And to me, this means that the rider doesn't have any weight down into their heels. The other thing is that it looks like to me that she is pivoting onto this part, onto her knee. This means that the weight is coming into her knee rather than down past her knee and into her heels. How are we going to fix this? Don't forget to download your own riding position checklist. The link is in the description. First of all, let's make sure that the rider's seat is over the middle of the saddle and not over the pommel of the saddle. Looks like she's standing up in her stirrups. Although we like this nice loose and looped release, it looks like her hands are floating on the neck. We want to make sure her hands are pressed right onto the neck. And we really love this. Eyes up, looking forward. Really love that. But let's look at the next frame and over top of the jump and landing at the jump. Here's the next frame. We can see that her foot is somewhat shaded by the jump standard. And you can see that there's now a tight hold on the horse's mouth. The rider's still looking up, which is great. Her seat is still over the pommel of the saddle, and we'd like for it to be more over the seat of the saddle. Still looking okay, right? Let's take a closer look. You can see that her hip, knee, ankle angle, her knee angle right here is very open. We'd like for it to be a little bit more closed, and to do that, she needs to shift her bum over the middle or the seat of the saddle right here. And again, you can see right here, you can see that the weight is onto her stirrup with her heel is up. Even though part of her foot is hidden behind the jump standard, you can see that her heel is up and it should be down. Let's go to the next frame or the next part of the video where the horse is in flight, and you can see how her position is going. It's just the same jump, and I was able to stop it at different points along the video. If you'd like to have your own position review done, please send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. So this is where the horse is in flight. His feet are off the ground, his front legs are off the ground, and his back legs are off the ground. The previous picture, his hind legs, and he was just pushing off the ground. So this is where he's in flight. This is where the horse needs to have maximum use of their head and neck. And if you look closely, this is what I look at right here. There's lots of pull on the bit here. Actually, now I can see that there is a converter here on the bridle. The horse's ears are up. Doesn't look like it's bothered too much, but look at how tight the rein is. The rider's hands have come off the horse's neck. And whereas the previous picture, the seat was well over the pommel of the saddle, now you see the seat is over the middle of the saddle. Something has happened. She's getting almost left behind. And the only thing that's keeping her in the middle of this saddle is the grip on the reins. We'd like to have this rider's hands on the martingale strap so that she can keep with the horse instead of getting left behind. At this point of the jump, the reins should be looped. There should be a major release on this on the rein and on the horse's mouth, so the horse can use its head and neck properly to get over top of the jump. There are things that we like about this. She does have her eyes up looking forward, and her leg position seems to be good, but her whole body is shifted back and she's getting slightly left behind. Now, what's going to happen in the next frame or the next part of the video? Let's take a look. So now the horse is landing. This is where the horse is starting to land off the jump. Still a lot of pull on the reins. And again, you can see the distance between the top of the horse's withers and mane and crest and the rider's hands. There's a lot of daylight there. You don't want to see any daylight between the withers and neck of the horse and your hands, particularly when you're landing. Unless, of course, you're landing off a drop jump on the cross-country course, then you need to sit up. At this point in the jumping sequence, you need to have a proper release with your hands securely on the horse's neck to help balance yourself, and also so the horse can use its head and neck properly when it lands off the jump. I'm focusing on this because it's important. I want to see the weight down into their feet. And here, if she let go of the reins, what do you think would happen? Would she land on her feet properly, or would she be toppled backwards? I think she'd be toppled backwards. Now let's look at the landing where she's starting to land, and just before the horse puts its hind legs on the ground. And you can see this is what happens. And I thought maybe this was just the one of this particular jump. But no, it happens over every jump. Here's one of the other jumps where there's so much room between her hand and the horse's neck. And again, over this jump, you can see her hand in the horse's neck. How do we fix this? How do we prevent this from happening? How do we prevent this rider from getting left behind? And how do we stop her hands from flying up off the horse's neck? There's a simple solution we can do. The simple solution is to ask this rider, or if you are doing this, if this is happening to you, the simple solution is to hook your fingers onto the martingale strap or put a neck strap on your horse. Very simple to do, very easy fix so that you do not get left behind or come up too early when you're landing off a jump. If this rider would put their fingers here and hook their fingers into the martingale strap or a neck strap if you have one, it would prevent this from happening. There are many other exercises you can do. For example, doing your 2-point position, 2-point position over poles, 2-point position over small jumps, 2-point positions through trot poles, 2-point positions through transitions, and also a very simple exercise that I think would really help this rider is the up, up, down exercise, where you stand in your stirrups in 2-point position for 2, up, up, and then regular trot sitting for 1 beat. So you up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up. Very simple to say, not so easy to do. And if you practice this, guaranteed that you will help improve your jumping position, particularly on landing, where a lot of riders get left behind and hold on their horse's mouth on the landing of a jump. If you have any questions, please send me an email, thistleridge@hotmail.com. Thanks now. Bye.